Question 3 says use the equation y equals 5 over 2x to fill in the table. So this is kind of like that Fahrenheit problem we did today whenever we had that fraction. I'm going to scoot this down so that I can rewrite my equation down here. So y equals 5 over 2x. So we went over this two ways. First way is I went ahead and made this into a decimal so that it was easy to multiply. I'm going to go through both ways for this problem just to emphasize. So method 1 is to just use the decimal. So y equals 5 divided by 2 is 2.5. Or I'm just going to go ahead and use the equation of 5 over 2x. So one as a decimal, one as a fraction. So when I plug in a 2, that means we're going to do 2.5 times 2, multiply that through, and we get 5. If you want to use the equation, the fraction here, 5 over 2 times times 2 over 1, multiply straight across, 10 over 2 still gives us 5. Do the same thing for 3. So 2.5 times 3. Either type that into your calculator, or if you want to use your fraction, 5 over 2 times 3 over 1. I actually prefer the fractions because the math is easier to do in our head. Because on the top we have 5 times 3, which is 15 over 2. So then 15 over 2 is 7.5. So I'm going to say 7.5, or if you multiplied this through, you would get 7.5. And then we have 6. So 2.5 times 6. And again, I like the fractions because it's a little bit easier, because I can do 5 times 6 in my head to get 30. And then I can do 2 times 1 to get 2. So now I have 30 divided by 2, which is 15, which you would also get if you multiplied through over here. Is y proportional to x? Explain why or why not. So is this proportional? Well, yes, because all I did was take these numbers and multiply them by something, and my equation falls in that same pattern. So yes, the k value is 2.5 for each number in the table. Question B, use the equation y equals 3.2x plus 5 to fill in the table. Is y proportional, or is it proportional? Explain why or why not. So this one is definitely like that Fahrenheit problem that we did. What my rule is telling me to do is take my x values, plug them in for x. So I'm going to take x times 3.2 and then add 5. So for number 1, we have y equals, we're going to plug a 1 in, y equals 3.2 times 1 plus 5. So then we get 3.2 plus 5, and then we get 8.2. Plug in a 2. We have y equals 3.2 times 2 plus 5. We can break this into parts. 2 times 3 is 6. 0.2 times 2 is 0.4. So we get 6.4 plus 5. 6 plus 5 is 11. So we have 11.4. And now I'm going to plug in a 4. So then we get y equals 3.2 times 4 plus 5. 4 times 3 is 12. 0.2 times 4 is 0.8. So I have 12.8 plus 5 equals 12 plus 5 is 17.8. So is it proportional? And again, two methods now. You can still go the table route and divide 8.2 divided by 1, 11.2 divided by 2, 17.8 divided by 4. You're not going to get that same number. It's not proportional. My equation also tells me that. Because I'm adding this 5 here, it is not proportional. No, adding 5 does not create a constant pattern. It's not in the form of y equals kx. Okay. Next video, I'm going to finish up question 4.